is oli-kern from oli-kern TV with Stay Curious. Today I want to talk about creative leadership. In order to do this properly, I would like to try and offer a definition for management, for creative management, and finally for creative leadership. Just as a warm-up, let me tell you a small story. The other day we had a project meeting and two colleagues had taken opposite positions on where to take the project. It had become clear that the old direction could no longer be continued. And it was important not to lose momentum and lose all the good work that had already been invested. In short, there was no obvious way out to save the project. In walked a newly appointed leader and listened to the different parties for a couple of days. At some stage he took over and consistently asked all participants what they meant with different terms and words they had used. This felt quite annoying at first, but in the end provided the solution. It turned out that a lot of the conflict and misunderstandings were based on different interpretations of words and terminology, especially the ones used in the ultimate project mission and objective. By refocusing the discussion on a common understanding of terminology and subsequently the project objective, this new creative leader succeeded in driving the project towards success. But back to deriving what creative leadership actually is. For this, I would like to define the terms management and creative management in order to eventually arrive at creative leadership. All of those definitions will be highly dependent on the situation at hand, as well as the individual who is in the role of handling the situation. Management as such is a process that focuses on the use of standard procedures to sustain a current state. For example, the sales of a season, the creation of internal and external reporting or production planning. Now, creative management is a process where the leader has to restore a former state or a level of performance. Something might have gone wrong already. For example, supply for manufacturing didn't provide all the parts as expected. And he or she needs to come up with creative solutions to source the parts from vendors never used before. For this, the creative manager will need to apply creative thinking to identify and develop original solutions in order to come back to former levels of performance. Now, and finally, creative leadership is a process where the leader defines and leads a group toward a new and novel goal. He deliberately uses his and others' imagination and creative skills to do that. As a leader, or as leaders bring creative change to their environment, they will usually have a profound or deep influence on their environment, for example, their colleagues or their community. For example, a leader may want to establish a new business. He may conquer a new market segment or launch a completely new product line. Or the leader of a not-for-profit organization may define the objective of his organization totally new. A scientist may define a new direction for the work of a research group. All of those lead to new and novel goals. Sometimes this can work with simply asking questions about the terminology of a project scope, as it worked in my example from the very beginning of this talk. For me, this was fascinating to watch and a good example for creative leadership. And that's it for today. As always, stay curious and keep smiling.